on page 2 of Exhibit V. If I may read to my book. Clause C. The purchaser and the supplier have entered into negotiations, and the supplier has agreed to supply the goods and service in accordance with the technical specifications which have been clearly spelled out in the annex here to this agreement and the other terms here. Remove. Annexure A deals with the vehicle as was imported from Mercedes-Benz with that in account. So, my lord, Annexure A deals with specification of ambulance-based vehicle. The emphasis is base vehicle, which means the van as ordered for Mercedes-Benz Stuttgart to the manufacturer. That is the base vehicle. And with all the specifications listed under. Annexure B Annexure B deals with the external finishing of the base vehicle. Base, B-A-S-E. Base, that's basic. Double T. No. So, my lord, Annexure B deals with the external finishing of the base vehicle in conversion to an ambulance, which involves about 3 pages here. My lord, Annexure C, after you are done with Annexure D, which is external finishing, you then go into Annexure C, which is standard equipment to be provided in each ambulance. The equipment to be provided in each ambulance. The B, you are cutting the windows, you are designing the inside, the outside, that's what it tells you. The C, etc. All the electrical works you are doing, you are reconfiguring the base taken from Annexure A into Annexure B, which is reconfiguration. Preparing it for Annexure C. The base in Annexure B. Preparing it for Annexure C. After, my lord, you are done with Annexure B. In cutting, electrical, suction, all the electrical and other things that you need, you move to Annexure C. which is the standard equipment to be provided in each ambulance. In this part, in this part of Anesthesia C, the equipment that makes it ambulance to be used for patients are now to be installed in the already created Anesthesia P reconfiguration. So, my Lord, you will realize that Anesthesia C.
The reason why I want to have patients for me is because the whole case is on this map. So allow me to finish. So you were saying so
Anesthesia. Anesthesia C is completely different from Anesthesia B. And Anesthesia C, majority of the Anesthesia C are already in the ambulances parked at airport base. And the remaining disposable parts of Anesthesia C were shipped in a 20-footer container in October 2016, which arrived at my port in November, end of November. Way back in October 2016, it arrived getting to the end of November. As we speak now, those remaining accessories of Anesthesia C have been cleared from the 20-footer container at the port. The accessories have been cleared. The container returned to the shipping company. And as I speak to you today, the container is in China, carrying other goods. And the accessories cannot be found for BC to be informed according to the addendum to proceed to Ghana to fix them in the ambulance for the past 7 years. And we are here saying there's financial loss.
Do you intend for all that you have said to be recorded?
Yes, my Lord.
You kept saying Mr. Jakpa, you are not finding it. And that's why I keep asking you, is it that you are seeking for us people, or you have some conversation you are conversing? Because when I keep telling you, take your time, make sure that you are speaking in a manner that we can capture it. You don't mind me. No, let's go back. As I speak now, the container is in China. Carrying other goods. That's where we reach you.
Carrying other goods.
And
the accessories that were cleared from the container in Ghana. That were meant for the 30 ambulances parked at the airport base. Cannot be found. And BC General Trading LLC has not been notified by government that the accessories has been cleared.
Until he came, there was no one like that.
BC General FS
That's right.
has not been notified
Okay.
that the accessories
I've heard him say that
have been cleared by this
he's
government.
going to cheat so that could happen to everybody this time.
Before he came, there was nothing like that in there.
The container emptied.
So they are doing stories from it, but they don't really have the information. It's making
Because I can see the shipper will get back to China.
like they are doing something
Now,
different.
let's payment for the goods. Look at the government one. You see that there was no advancement. Is that not correct? Is that not correct?
I need to refer to as a big P.
4.1.
I told you as a big P.
Everything is I'll even go back before it goes back.
It's making
Now
people
you have your
send bad messages against Africa.
So
The G2 has
Now,
tweeted,
in your area,
sent a message.
identify the contract.
Let me tell them Paramount for
If it is in evidence, they are then
End office.
It's in evidence as
Okay.
A.
I am
Exhibit
streaming the
AF1.
Zoom link from High Court.
now please
I'm streaming the Zoom link from High Court on Facebook and YouTube. But the YouTube, I'm not able to change the thumbnail from the previous one. Check from your end if you can change it for me. It's live now, yes. Yes, on Facebook and YouTube. But YouTube, I'm unable to change the thumbnail. So that
My Lord,
how?
Exhibit AF1
It shouldn't have been.
is signed.
No, the title of educate one, not the
Take
text.
from there.
Sorry. Sorry.
Only the vote fight.
No, don't do that. You see, you have to type it.
I was not sure.
What is the title? Read it.
My Lord,
Does it have a title?
Yes.
No,
my Lord, it's not a title, it's a writing. He is calling it a title, but it's a writing. He's calling it a title.
You turn it off.
Whatever. Read that part. Report on them.
Report on the meeting between Big C Medical Team, led by Engineer Ahmed Sadasi and the Ghana Ministry of Health, represented by the CEO of the National Ambulance Service, Professor Ahmed Nuhu Zakaria, on technical issues. My Lord, my Lord, yes, my Lord, I wanted to explain the cause.
Don't explain. He is asking the question. You are not at liberty to decide when to solve it.
Yes, my Lord.
I don't know, but I thought it was the courtroom to me. I kept quiet until I heard graphic.
It's no addendum to the contract. It is only a report by the National Ambulance Service. The report is not an addendum to the contract. It is only a report by the National Ambulance Service on their visit to Big C in Dubai. Is it not?
My lord, that is completely false. It is completely false because exhibit B, the contract, stated clear in clause 23.1. Clause 23, specifically 23.1. Amendment. Any amendment to this contract, any amendment to this contract shall be of no force or effect unless in writing and signed by the authorized representative of both parties. My lord,
Then you guys have to minimize your voice.
if you look at exhibit AF1, it was signed by Engineer Ahmed Sadasti, representing Big C General Trading LLC. Engineer Ahmed Sadasti, representing Big C General Trading LLC.
Sorry, can you check this?
You have to minimize your background.
It's SARDASHHTI. Ahmed is HAMED. Who signed on behalf of Big C General Trading LLC? Professor I said Engineer Ahmed Sadasti signed on behalf of Big C General Trading LLC, the supplier. And the purchaser, representative, Professor Ahmed Nuhu Zakaria. Signed on behalf of the purchaser, which is the government of Ghana. Witness by one Mr. Lawrence Saki. Mr. Muhammad Ahmad. The Ahmad is AJMAL. Engineer Huma Milani. My lord, this was as a result of a dispute resolution that both parties.
May I ask my next question? The parties in the contract. The party is about to explain. He has not that documented. He has to. It is in the description of my evidence because he can't stop the witness from answering the question. Malay, because he asked the question, the witness is answering. The same way that when the witness is engaging in the particular manner, I just have an assumption. I think I can have the witness complete that. Maybe the question was not specific. No, he's answering the question. Right.
Please, Lord. The question is that AF1 is not an amendment, it is only a report. And it is an amendment, it is a report, it's not a report. But your client will not do that. They will be looking for the people to sign the It is false. It is false. Because it is a contract stating prosecution. I don't even know what you are doing.
But let's go to the last part.
No, please. counsel. Now, the question I was asked was A, F1.
Yes, because if I can explain why it is an identity.
Because he has specifically asked him, AF1 is a report, not an identity. If you go to education, then he, please, who signed all those matchman and the rest I am mentioning? Is it in which document is it?
That is exhibit AF1.
Now find your answer to AF1 if it's at all possible.
Let's go.
And then, please, sit. I'm stressing you. Let's all come. Please. It is a report, it's not a report. It is an addendum, it is not an addendum. As quickly as possible. Because, like I keep saying, when we finish, we have all left. Whether it is a report, an addendum, or a policy, we won't be able to tell. It is something for all of us to do. It's not for, in fact, otherwise, I think, I don't know how to put it, but this was a result of a dispute resolution that both parties want.
Both parties entered, went and negotiated and agreed on based upon disagreements on the implementation of the contract. And my lord, in exhibit B, dispute resolution. My lord, my lord.
I don't know why anybody is stressed. Because at the end of the day, we are going to look at the document.
Yes, let's go move on and ask my next question. Because let's not control what the time I have.
Yes, my lord.
I'm being fake. The land.
My lord, I want to land. But I'm being heckled and not allowed to do say what you
If I being heckled, I say you are being heckled. And I think that you went, honestly, if it is the report that you want to comment on, looking for names that we cannot pronounce is not one of the obligations that we have to do. We want to get the answer. All those names you are mentioning is in the document. So answer the question, please.
My lord.
Let it be on this resolution. Yes.
My lord, the question is very simple.
In exhibit B.
Yes, exhibit B.
On this resolution.
This resolution. My lord, this resolution clause 11.1 states all disputes arising in connection with this contract or the execution thereof shall be amicably settled through negotiations between the two parties. In the event that no settlement is arrived at, the dispute shall be substituted to Ghana Arbitration Center for arbitration in accordance with the Alternative Dispute Resolution Act 2010 Act 798 or any statutory modification thereof. My lord, based upon this resolution,
I think this is correct because this is original. This is my situation. Yes.
I didn't think you played with anyone.
Yes.
You know how he approaches his question. I don't know. You see, Mr. Jakpa is not even the kind to even put full stop there. Then no, he started. I don't know how to interact him, but at the same time, I'm afraid of prejudicing him or endangering his case or his defense. That is the reason why I tell you that be patient.
But there are two persons, or it's not the only two persons who has rights. The prosecuting also has rights. But this is an accused person who has had the opportunity of giving evidence in for about 2 months. He started in April and then in June. The prosecution has started for them only for the past 2 weeks or less. Yes, and our contribution is unlimited. We got about 10 times the number of hours that we have had. Maybe even 4 or 5 times. But if I'm being constrained, I'm doing the next hour. I think that there's the utmost necessity with all respect. Control, yes.
Please, no. Nobody has asked you anything.
Please, no. Just won't waste my time. I will not.
Have you heard this?
Yes.
So he went there the first time with this prosecution's rights. It's only the accused person who rights and constitution.
Please have a seat.
Okay. I see. The prosecution's rights are not working.
They are not in the constitution. It's right.
Oh, sorry. I just don't understand it. Now, next question.
Right. Japan, please look at clause 4. Clause 4.1. See,
Please,
no. Look at clause 4.1.
Mr. Jakpa,
Yes, no.
I think that you have more than answered the question. I think it is quite clear. I also think that the document is in evidence. Whether it is a report, an addendum, or whatever, is something that we can all read and see. Please answer your next question.
Now, please look at clause 4.1. See, the agreement makes provision for no offense clause 4.1. You see, the agreement prohibits advance payments. That of it. Prohibits advance payments.
Advance payment.
Allowed. Exhibit V clause 4 payment terms states there shall be no advance payment for this contract.
You agree? That's what. Thank you very much. So that's correct. Now look at 4.2, the last bullet point.
That is correct.
That's correct.
My lord,
Please look at the last bullet.
My lord,
of
I didn't answer to prohibit.
Please look at
The word prohibit.
Please look at 4.2.
There shall be no advance payments. There was no advance payment provision in the prohibit.
Please look at 4.2. Please look at the last bullet point from 4.2.
Question and answer them.
Please look at the last bullet point of 4.2. You see the last bullet point of 4.2 on the same as the thing. You see, payment is supposed to be done only after delivery of the ambulance. That's the point.
My lord, that is not correct in the term of the question they asked. Because this question, this clause 4.2, clause 4.2 deals with the mechanic of an LC, of which I'll explain to the contract.
So, Japan, please use 4.2 seconds. The last level of 4.2. Please wait a second.
The purchaser shall pay the sale price.
The last 4.2.
Upon the delivery of every 50 ambulance vehicles, 25% of the contract price of the ship shall be paid through confirmed letters of credit on site of goods open in favor of the supplier in the bank of his country upon submission of the documents specified in section 6.2 of the contract. Thank you very much. My lord,
Now let's go to
what this means.
I haven't had this for the moment.
I think you want to explain.
Because the document is there. And so he doesn't need to have.
But if I don't ever ask questions, he ought to be allowed.
Mr. Sorry, don't interrupt me now. I am saying that you cannot do that because the document, and I really would appreciate if the prosecution type. What is your name?
Yes.
How many years are you at the bar? Everything started to address. I think I've said this so many times.
So, I'm saying it is in evidence. It is subject to offenses. And the prosecution knows this and continues to ask questions.
I have already asked a question.
It's entitled, please, Mr. Sorry.
Yes, madam.
Once the document is in evidence, and people have spoken with the men, and they want to put their case above the law, they can. And when it is done, when it comes to the assessment of the evidence, I don't think I should be the one to say it, unfortunately. When it comes to the assessment of the evidence is done by the way you address it. When it is that, I don't see how anybody who has had the opportunity to first he gave people evidence for 3 hours. Then he filed the witness statement. Then he said that the people evidence should be taken together with the witness statement and eventually filed. Because for many months it didn't been filed. But when you came in, thank God, he filed. He had already given 3 hours of people evidence. It's done. He has already had the opportunity to file witness statement. It's done. He has been able to explain at length what else is that. I want to ask you to explain again. No. Especially when I am insisting that when it is 2:15, the Attorney General will end. So please, resume your seat.
I think it's fair to him to let him answer.
You have said what you think, and I've heard you, but this I have said several times is not a jury trial. This is a trial which is presided over by a judge. It's not the same way.
So we know that. We know that. So I'm going to apply.
Please, Thaddeus. But you always have the last word.
No, you don't.
Okay, thank you. Then have a seat. Thank you very much.
Now, Mr. Jakpa, please look at the first point in 4.2. You see that the purchaser was supposed to pay the purchase price or the sale price of the ambulances by raising an irrevocable and transferable letter of credit. Was supposed to pay the sale price at the sale price of the ambulances by raising an irrevocable and transferable letter of credit.
My Lord, the context of Exhibit V that I'm being asked to read without giving interpretation, explanation to what they really mean. My Lord, it's making it difficult for me because it's giving a twisted meaning to what is written here and asking me to just read and leave it like that, no explanation. And I think that is not fair to me. So I need to give the meaning of it because there are technical things which are different from just on the face of reading it. And I need to explain so that everybody gets it.
Who is everybody?
The court and everybody who wants to learn.
This is not a lecture in business. This is a trial. And that's why I keep telling you that you are not supposed to be addressing some other body. This is a case that one person has to make a decision. And that is me. I cannot remind you several times. That is me. The document is there. It is a legal document. It's a legal document. I keep saying it, but this is a legal document. The question has been put to you. The question is, please go up. The question that you are supposed to answer is point 40. Please repeat your question and answer.
Let's look at the first point in 4.2. You see that the purchaser was supposed to pay the sale price by raising a revocable letter of credit.
Yes, my Lord. By raising a revocable transferable letter of credit from these bankers. And my Lord, and my Lord,
by raising, we are not transferring. By raising,
and my Lord, if you look at the payment terms of Exhibit V, the negotiating point of the LC is at Jebel Ali. That's the negotiating point. Jabal Ali fought in Dubai. That is the negotiating phase of the LC. What that means, my lord, once Big C loads the vessel and the vessel sails and Big C takes possession, sails, and Big C takes possession of the bill of lading. It is deemed who's deemed delivered because the goods are deemed delivered because both parties agree in executing as Jebel Ali was at the negotiating point of the LC. Big C submits the bill of lading to the bankers of the purchasing. The LC has condition precedent for payment. And Big C General Trading LLC can only meet the conditions by delivering the bill of lading and all the accompanying documents. Delivering the bill of lading with all the accompanying documents of shipment to the purchaser's bank and the negotiation of the LC is compliant. My lord, it is so because
So you were no, we are not interested in looking at them. If you're interested in investing them, get them report. Please. So LLC can only make a condition delivering the bill of lading because they are accompanying documents of shipment. That's when they are
of shipments.
Mm-hmm.
And my lord, it is so me speaking this way is so because
No,
each time
please.
I go slow
Please.
and they slow down in typing, the prosecution jump with a different question and I'm not able to proceed.
Sorry, 1 minute. That's fine. Please. They need to capture it if you decide that you want to run so that they won't capture you, just so that the opportunity will not have the opportunity to ask this question. It's your what's it? It's your palava. Please, at the end of the day, what you say is not as important as making sure that it is on the record. So if you think that you don't want to slow down so that they'll type it, so that you can ask the question as well. But this is when he has switched. Do you know when she has switched?
Yes, my lord.
So accompanying documents of
accompanying documents are submitted to the purchaser's bank. In compliance with the preconditions in the LC. And those preconditions have been agreed by both parties as the only condition for payment. So whether the goods arrive at the port physically or there's force majeure on the sea, on the scheme. Three conditions he met. In that case, as if he envisage such a situation, and that is why it is cost, insurance, and tax. Start with cigarette. Take care of any forced restraint. Were established on 18 August 2014. And 18 2014. Please look at the LT letter of credit. If you look at the credit advice, they said SBC look at the credit advice. Credit advice is with fee, as well as a letter from fixed. Also tell that there's a fees from SBC that the LCs were established on 18 August 2014. That okay. The 14th August. So, August 2014. And look at it, it is a letter from this. Letter from this. I see big C also acknowledged that the LCs were established right after they received the LC. Sorry, CBC also acknowledged the production of the ambulance occurred right after they received the LCs. That operates. I'll have to read through it. Yes, the parts you are referring to. My Lord, my Lord, I found something I need to request. My Lord, I can't speak to this document because the document is dated 24th June 2015, and the area manager for Big C as at that time look at the third page, carbon copy. It was called carbon copy to the Chief Director of the Ministry of Health, CEO of National Ambulance, and Big C Area Manager, West Africa, which is different from Jakpa at Business, so agents. As at these days, Jakpa at Business, as at this date of 24 June 2015, BC was no longer dealing with Jakpa at Business, has appointed Mr. Lorisaki, and there's evidence in this court to that effect in my witness statements. Now, Jakpa, my lord, Jakpa had appointed Mr. Lorisaki, and my lord, I may want to refer to my witness statements. Jakpa, please.
You have already said it that they were no longer dealing with me anymore.
Jakpa, and it is because of that Jakpa at Business proceeded to court, sued BC in breach of Exhibit AM, which is the agency agreement. Jakpa, you see from Exhibit 4 and P1, and the course. Hello. When I see what it does, and I can continue. Yes, and I'll continue. And that's why I said fast to continue. From Exhibit A and B1, the letters written by the first accused. You see from Exhibit A and B1, which are before you, the letters written by the first accused. I'm not done answering your papers. That's
Mr. Jakpa.
Yes, madam.
The question is very clear. The question was today, I'm talking to you, don't
Yes, yes,
okay, when I'm talking to you, look at my face.
yes, madam.
The question is, no.
I can't compliment.
The question, go again.
I know, it's a very pretty thing.
Oh, I don't believe you. The question is whether there was any communication to the effect that it was after they received the LCs that they started the production. You say that it is not something you can speak to, because by the time of that document, you were no longer working, they had already sidelined you.
Yes,
And they had now taken
Not sideline me as a person.
just a minute.
Jakpa Business.
But I have written
Yes, madam.
it is that they had already sidelined Jakpa as business and appointed Saki. So you cannot speak to it.
And I'm trying to go further by telling the court that,
Said that it is in your witness statement. The same thing.
and furthermore, a commercial court
You have also said that.
ruled and reinstated Jakpa Business in 2016.
Mr. Jakpa. Yes.
Yes, my lord.
And now you see, I am very strict with my time. And sometimes all the lawyers. So when I am so strict with time, and I insist that today is the last day that you stand in this witness,
Yes, my lord.
it is only fair that we give them the chance to ask the question they have done. And watching people, you have a lawyer who writes a lot. A lot. He's the one who writes the most at the whole bar. So everything I can say that for a fact. No, I'm not playing. He is very thorough. So I can say for a fact that everything else, as far as the documentation and the experts are concerned, will be covered very ably by this person. In this particular case, we will not do oral submissions because it has now become impossible to address all the documents unless we write. So that would be it. The right for the beginning, say giving like the So please continue. And now, because you only have 1 hour and 10 minutes.
Yes. You see from Exhibit A and B1. Please look at Exhibit A and B1. Exhibit A and B1. The letters written by the first accused. Exhibits A and B1. Letters dated 7th August and 12th August 2014. 12 August and 12 August, like 7 August and 12 August. Letters written by the first accused dated 7 August. That the LCs, which is NPC, were established only 6 days after the first accused had written his last letter, which is NPC. Then the LC is the NPC, which we just referred to the 2 minutes ago.
Exhibit A.
Exhibit A and B1, which are the letters written by A1. And of course, dated 7th August and 12th August.
My lord,
The LCs are already referred to as SPC and dated 18th August.
What is your question?
Were established 3 days after the first accused had written his letter. That's not correct. Yes, the LCs are SPC. So like I'm
look at the question.
Yes.
You see from exhibit A and B1, please take a look at it. There are letters written by A1, dated 7th and 12th.
And the LCs can put it back. Can put it back at SPC.
Exhibit C were established
6 days.
after.
A1 had written his letter. Is that not correct?
Would you like to take a look at exhibit C?
yes, my lord.
Just address it. Just address it.
I'll see Exhibit C here. My lord, Exhibit A was written on 7th August 2014. You said Exhibit B1.
Yes, yes. B1.
B1 was always written the same day, 7th August.
No, it's the
B1.
no. The demand be without B or B.
It said B1 and B1 7th August. The 7th August.
Look at the one dated 12 August. Is it that B2?
I don't know unless you provide me that document.
The first accused letter. So it's the B2.
So it is B2 and not B1.
Yeah. So see, Madam, please correct. B2.
B2 is dated 12 August 2014, but he was referring to B1, which was a wrong document.
So you have to retain this 7th August reference to or it is still
No, the question is now right. A and B. Dated 7th August and 12th August. Yeah.
My lord, calculating from the date of 7th August 2014 to 12th August 2014, that's about 5 days. That's about 5 days.
Thank you very much.
And not,
Now-
and not 6 days.
Even better.
It's good
Now-
comparative. You.
Thank you very much. Now, thank you for assisting my case. As you
You are welcome.
As you Now, again, Mr. Jakpa, again, you see the payment for the ambulance was actually received payment for the first supply of 10 ambulances. Was actually received by BC before the ambulance.
Because the conditions precedent in the bill of lading and the payment terms in Exhibit 4
terms in Exhibit 4 or
Exhibit V.
no payment terms is it in Exhibit 4 and Exhibit 4?
Exhibit V. V.
In Exhibit V.
My Lord, I'm saying the conditions precedent in the LC, letter of credit, and the payment terms in Exhibit V, which deals with the negotiating points of the LC in question, was at Jebel Ali Port in Dubai, not Tema Port in Dubai. And that is why I keep saying he's interpreting the LC wrongly.
Now, Japan, please look at SBD, which is the swift advice. SBD is the swift advice. Recounting the payment quickly. You are filling the date of the swift. Look at SBD, which is the swift advice, recounting the payment to Pixie. You see that it notes at the date Pixie's account was credited, 25th November 2014. 25th November 2014. See that it notes at the date the payment hits Pixie's account, 25th November 2014. Is that not correct? November 25th, 25.
24.
Yes.
My Lord, on the face of the swift advice of the LC, that is 25th November 2014.
Thank you. Now, again, you know that the ambulances, the first batch, the 10 ambulances, arrived in Ghana.
My Lord, hold on.
On 19th December.
Hold on, please. My Lord, please hold on. What I see here, my Lord, is different. Sorry for my first answer, it's different. My Lord, it's different.
Please, Mr. Jakpa, collect this pencil and have a speaking. Yeah. Please mark the part. Take this and mark the part here and very interesting.
My Lord, the answer I gave initially is not correct because I hadn't taken a critical look at the documents. But when I second look at it, the aging is completely wrong. Because this document is about the first opening balance, debit and credit, dated 25th November 2014. Currency, euro, amount 15 million, 13 euros and some cents. This is the LC account that was established for all the 200 ambulances. This is the LC account. They are talking about opening and closing balance at the Ghana International Bank. And not so.
This is the LC account that was established for all the 200 ambulances. That's what I see in the screen. Can you continue?
My Lord, this is the LC account. Opening balance. And they stated euros. Now, my Lord, when you go down,
No, you see that, let the amount is the amount that is taken. Let it be captured.
My Lord, when you go to
No.
6,
Your first amount, let it be captured. Before you go to the
Euros, 15 million.
Yes.
15, 15 points,
A few cents.
some monies and cents. And that is captured at 60 F. My Lord, when you come down, certain payments have been made for bank charges for their operations. The first of it is 813.22 euros, followed by 813.2209 euros and some cents, followed by
I think you can just make it simple. Just look at the opening.
Please let me answer the question.
Balance. Look at the opening and closing balance on the same page, so that we can finish it. You can see the dash.
That's anything.
Already, no.
Have patience.
Yes. Already, I have 1 hour left.
I know. I know you have an hour left. But
But
he's also, no, as for the 315, we are not going beyond it. But he also has to, you see, you were the one who gave him the.
yes. The main figures are there. Opening balance and closing balance.
No,
on the same page.
don't you rather, because you've not told him to look at any specific dates.
No, I did. 25th
Okay.
November.
Why
I
is
said, that was my first question. That please look at it. You see that it notes at the dates the payment hit Tracy's account, which was 25th November 2014. Is that not correct?
and my Lord, I answered by saying
That is so, but
that
then,
no, I answered by
so,
saying
but
that
then you later said no.
Yes.
Okay, second thought.
second, no, for second perusing of the document, it's clear here that on the 25th November 2014,
It is clear that on the, continue please.
on the 25th November 2014, there was no payments to BC's accounts. It was opening bank accounts.
Let me see. Can I take a look? I told you to,
I've underlined that for you.
the tag, use the little color.
It was an opening balance of 15 point something million euros. Opening balance. And various charges in the bank of smaller amounts, 10,000, 8,000, 3,800 euros. My Lord, after deducting all these small expenses, you come to 6.64. Is closing balance. Booked funds. 14 million. 14.01 million euros and a few cents. That was the closing balance. This is at Ghana International Bank, the LC account, and not transfer to Big C. He doesn't understand this document.
You do not, Mr. Jakpa. If we deduct the first 50 million, if we deduct the first 50 million, 013, if we deduct the original amount of 15,013.986 minus the closing balance, which is 14. I will deduct it from the closing balance. No, yes. I mean, deduct the original amount of 15,000 from the closing balance on SBD, which is 14,011 715. You see that payment of about 1 million euros had already been made. Is that not correct?
My Lord, once again,
You see that the payment of about 1 million euros had already been made. Is that not correct? On 25th November, 20, payment of about 1 million euros had been made on 25th November 2014. But the closing balance was on 26th November 2014.
In fact, the closing balance.
But the closing balance was on 26th November 2014. Is that not correct?
my Lord, the first document, Exhibit D. D. My Lord, to answer his question before I pursue the explanation, it is not correct. You have misunderstood the documents.
Mathematics.
My Lord,
No, please, Honorable Attorney General, allow him to answer the question.
I think it's a simple
No, the
mathematical
question is, no, but you see, when you have asked him the question,
Right.
please don't
Why
take
that?
the
Why
comment
that?
so that you can have the chance.
Why that?
The question is whether it is true that after the time of the closing balance, some payment exceeding 1 million has been made. And the answer is,
my Lord, the answer is that money is paid not to Big C. It is monies used in the bank, in the LC's account. Now, my Lord, in that Exhibit D that he is referring to, which is opening and closing, which is opening and closing of the LC account. Now, when you move to Exhibit C, you will see that the LC, after they open it, the account in Exhibit D, they come to Exhibit C and credit the LC account, which had over 15 million euros. Exhibit D, which had over 15 million euros. And they closed accounts with available balance of 14 million euros, over 14 million euros. Within the same bank, you come to Exhibit C, you will see that an amount of 3.950,000 euros has been debited from Exhibit D, the LC account, and credited into the LC that was established for the first tranche of 50 ambulances, which is 3.95 million euros. Out of this 3.5, I'm saying
the first tranche, which was 3.5 million.
the LC was established for 3.950 million euros. Exhibit C was credited from Exhibit D, which is the account of over 15 million euros for the ambulance projects. The LC, which emanated from Exhibit A, which spoke of 3.9 million euros thereof, was now credited to that LC And when you move to the next page, when you move to the next page, you then see conditions precedents listed and the various charges that is supposed to be complied with for that 3.95 million euros to be drawn. So the 3.9 million euros from exhibit C is the LC itself being established on exhibit A. So the LC, the exhibit D that the Attorney General is referring to, it is the opening and closing accounts of the whole ambulance project money from which the LC was established from for only 50 ambulances with its condition precedent.
Again, is the whole project. Yes, please, Jakpa. It's the whole project money. Take that.
Thank you. You don't have to stand. You want to stretch a little bit.
It's a protocol of the court. I mean,
No, it's fine. Sit down.
So,
Yes.
now, what I'm saying is, to clarify, what I'm saying is,
It's not different.
Yeah, just complete. Just complete.
Just complete.
Just complete your question.
So we have the whole project money.
so the whole project money is in exhibit D, which is the account for the projects.
Yes.
Then exhibit C is the
You are
LC.
repeating yourself, Mr. Jakpa.
Now,
There's no need for that. There's no time.
So he's confused with the both
You
documents.
have said that for the third time. Okay, please.
you are confusing yourself. Now, before the first accused wrote exhibit A and B2, is it the Ministry of Health? A and B2. The Ministry of Health, per its minister
Ministry of Health.
of Health, through its minister, Madam Sherry It, has written exhibit 15 for A2.
My lord, we are done with the LC issue.
Please, for the-
Before first accused wrote exhibit A and B2, the Ministry of Health, through its minister, Madam Sherry It, has written exhibit 15 for A2. Directing PC to stop producing the ambulances. Is that not correct? Please look at exhibit
15 for each.
15 for each.
My lord, yes.
And please read the last paragraph of exhibit 15 for each. Final paragraph. I read that back then. It's the area of the course.
My lord, I'll be glad if I could be given exhibits.
Please read.
Mr. Jakpa,
Please
the
read
question
the
is
last
that you
paragraph.
read the last paragraph of exhibit 15 for each.
My lord,
Last point
Please
6.
read that part.
my lord, I've heard you. I'll read it. But what I'm trying to say is, after reading, he runs away and I'm not able to hear into the documents.
You want to run? I will run with you.
Please, Mr. Jakpa, sorry, Mr. Jakpa, the question is very clear. Please read exhibit 15 for A2. That is the question.
Yes, that's paragraph 6. The paragraphs are numbered.
There's a question mark somewhere. Before
Please
you
read
please.
exhibit
Before-
15 for A2.
Yeah, before
And
the
then you will
It's
answer.
like the question is captured from that.
Mr. Sorry, it's quite clear.
Look,
Please read.
I'm not saying that. Just
Please proceed.
Mr. Sorry, please, there's no time. Yes, please.
My lord, paragraph 6. We advise that you stop producing further ambulances until the final contract between the government of Ghana and your company is signed by the Ministry of Finance and Economic Planning. My lord, this paragraph was dealt with specifically exhibit 15 for A2 was dealt with by the Attorney General on her legal opinion to the Ministry of Health on this letter. That this letter of the Minister of Health, Honorable Sheikh, occasioned Big C's notice to the Attorney General to sue for judgment terms. To sue for judgment terms. And the Attorney General perused this particular exhibit, including other documents that Big C submitted. Including exhibits. Including exhibits.
Listen, he is acknowledging that Madam Sheriaite wrote this. However, subsequent to the letter, he is saying that the Attorney General also gave contrary advice that there was going to be a potential judgment.
The question was not that Madam Sheriaite wrote the letter. The question was actually the Madam Sheriaite advised Big C to stop producing the ambulances.
Yes, then he has answered it. I have already told you that if you have a witness in the court who you think is not answering the questions that are put to him, such as whatever name you will give him, then it is open for you to comment in your address whether the question that he was asked, but the ones he answered, that is all. Because otherwise, I don't know how I organize it, but the question was whether there was any directive to stop the production. And you say yes, but there was some other advice. So go on, please.
My Lord, upon the receipt of this letter, including exhibit V to the office of the Attorney General, because Big C had earlier responded to this letter, which is already tendered in this court as exhibit, that this letter was not in conformity of any termination clause in exhibit V.
I've said it several times that it was in breach.
Now,
today you don't want to use the word breach, it's okay. Because let him ask the question. No, yes. Mr. Jakpa, nobody is going to forget all that you have said. So allow him to ask the question.
I was just trying to say that the Attorney General's office issued a legal opinion and rubbish this letter.
Mr. Jakpa.
Yes, my Lord.
This is the 20th time you said that the Attorney General gave you advice, and that's why it went to court. Continue, please.
Jakpa, now you see from exhibit 15 for A2 that the Minister of Health never requested the Minister for Finance or the Minister of Finance. Yes. You see from exhibit 15 for A2 that the Minister of Health never requested the Minister of Finance to authorize the services of the LC.
My Lord,
authorize the services of the LC.
To authorize the establishment
of the LC. In other words, there was no request for Minister of Health or Minister of Finance to establish the LC.
My Lord, can I be finished with the legal opinion of the Attorney General in respect to the
next question is
yes, my Lord.
Exhibit, no, listen. The question is that from this exhibit 15 for A2, is there any request for authorization of establishment of LC? Yes, no. Then if you want to answer, then you can.
My Lord, there was authorization by the government. My Lord, I need the exhibit on the legal opinion.
The question is about the Ministry of Health. Please, you are directed to answer the question.
My Lord, there was authorization through the legal opinion of the Attorney General in respect of Exhibit 15 for A2, upon which the Ministry of Finance acted on the Attorney General's legal opinion because upon which the government, through the Attorney General, issued a legal opinion.
There was authorization through the legal opinion of the Attorney General in respect of which the government authorized.
Yes, my Lord.
Uh-huh.
Because
the sentence is disjunctive. So look at it. There was authorization through the legal opinion of the Attorney General in respect of which the government
and with the government authorized the establishment of the LC through the Attorney General's legal opinion to the Ministry of Health and the Ministry of Finance, because the legal opinion of the Attorney General is binding on all MMDAs. And it was not the duty of the Ministry of Health to establish LC for the ambulance. It was the Ministry of Finance. The duty of the Ministry of Health was to sign Exhibit V, which is the contract.
The Ministry of Health was to sign Exhibit V, which is the contract.
And the Ministry of Finance was to establish the LC. The legal opinion rubbished this Exhibit 15 for A2 as not consistent with Exhibit V, the contract.
Now, so you are
So the Ministry of Finance complied with the legal opinion of the Attorney General to avoid any future judgment debts.
Continue, please.
now, so you agree with me that there was absolutely no request from the Ministry of Health or the Ministry of Finance to establish the LCs before from the Ministry of Health for the Ministry of Finance to establish the LCs before the first accused wrote his letters.
There was a request.
The question has
You agree with me that there was absolutely no request from the Ministry of Health for the Ministry of Finance to establish the LCs before the first accused wrote his letters.
I don't agree with you because there are.
Yes, that is A and B too.
I do not agree with you.
I do not agree with you because in Exhibit V, there is no requirement anywhere that states that Ministry of Health will have to request for an LC before it is established. The legal opinion of the Attorney General was what compelled the Ministry of Finance to establish the LC to avoid judgment debts, of which the Attorney General Department had cautioned the Ministry of Finance to avoid.
Now look at Exhibit X, the Attorney General's opinion that you rely on. Look at Exhibit X, the AG's opinion that you rely on.
Is it X or
X.
Okay.
X and indicates where in the AG's opinion there is an advice for the LCs to be established. Point it out. Where the Deputy Attorney General, Dominic Ayili, advised that the LC be established.
My Lord, I will read some relevant portions. The lawyers, I'm reading relevant portions to answer his question.
Which page?
Page 2. The lawyers further allege that as part of the terms of the agreement, the purchaser was expected to undertake and 7 days prior to each shipment, the supplier was to send a notice to the purchaser to bring in the favors. In July 2013, the supplier wrote to the purchaser in compliance of clause 7 of the agreement to come for pre-shipment inspection in Dubai. And that was when Ministry, in its response to the letter, this is referring to Exhibit 1548-2, Sherites letter that he just referred to, stated the supplier's letter inviting the Ministry for pre-shipment inspection was the first time its attention had been drawn to the transaction. Your ministry then advised the supplier to stop producing the ambulances until the Ministry of Finance had signed the contracts, which he just alluded to. We have reviewed the notice of intention to seal and the accompanying documentation and have no reason not to believe the facts alleged in their letter. The lawyers have provided this office with evidence of governmental approvals obtained for transaction in accordance with clause 8 of the said agreement, which states that the contract shall be effective upon obtaining all governmental approvals and upon the signing of the agreements by the parties. Furthermore, there is evidence provided to this office by the lawyers of the following approvals having been obtained in pursuance of the transaction. A joint parliamentary memorandum by the Minister of Health, Honorable Abansumana K. Bagbe, and the Minister for Finance and Economic Planning, Honorable Dr. Kwabena Dufo, on the financing agreement between the Republic of Ghana and Stanbic Bank Limited for the supply of 200 ambulances vehicles for the National Ambulance Service dated 30th April 2012. Cabinet approval, parliamentary approval, Public Procurement Authority approval, signature of the agreement dated 19 December 2012 by the parties.
Don't read everything. Say parliamentary approval. Between what? Read everything. Cabinet approval. Between
I
what?
wanted to cut it short.
No, read it. Read it. That's important.
No problem. Cabinet approval
Yes.
of the financing agreements between the Republic of Ghana and Stanbic Bank Ghana Limited for the supply of 200 ambulances for the National Ambulance Service dated 20th January 2012. Parliamentary approval of the financing agreement between the government of the Republic of Ghana and Stanbic Bank Ghana Limited for the amount of 15.8 million euros, dated 1st November 2012. Approval from the Public Procurement Authority for the Ministry of Health to engage in single source procurement of 200 ambulances for the National Ambulance Service. Signature of agreement dated 12 December 2012 by the parties. It is pertinent, it is patently clear. My lord, he said I should show him where, and I'm trying to prove to him, my lord, where I'm going.
It is what it is. If you read aloud, the research has shown that whenever you read aloud, you read slower than when you read silently. So if you can just read silently and then you'll be able to get it, because whenever you read aloud, the research is to the effect that you read slower.
No, I was trying to summarize for him and he said I should read everything.
Don't you do it for my sake. So please.
Hello. It is patently clear from the foregoing.
Mr. Jakpa, I told you that there's no need to read it. Skim it and point the answer. You will have still determined to read it.
My lord, I think I skipped it and you asked me to go back and read everything.
Almost the entire 1.5 pages. I said skim it and then please answer the question so that you can wind up in the next.
My lord, the answer is what I'm about to read to you now. The answer is here.
Okay, then read it. Give me the answer.
It is patently clear from the foregoing that there was no clause in the agreement requiring the signature of the Minister for Finance as a precondition for the effectiveness of the agreement. That is one. In our considered opinion, the agreement dated December 19, 2012 became effective and legally binding on the government of Ghana upon the fulfillment of the conditions stated above, and the government, acting through your ministry, cannot purport to rescind the agreement at this stage unless it is prepared to pay damages as demanded by the lawyers for Big C General Trading LLC. In other words, the government of Ghana is bound by the terms of the agreement and must proceed to perform them or risk paying a huge judgment debt in default of performance. This is where it is. Indeed, the termination clause of the agreement makes clear that the termination of the contract does not relieve either party from obligations arising from such termination.
Yeah, but you said that is where it is. Show me.
So where it is.
So show it.
My lord. My lord. It is stated here.
It is stated there. They identified it. It is stated there.
Oh, Mr. Dami.
But I want to.
My lord, it is stated here. In other words, the government of Ghana is bound by the terms of the agreement. Which are the terms? In Exhibit D. And must proceed. Must proceed is what the AG, in his legal opinion, is telling the ministry to proceed to perform them. So the Minister of Finance complied with this, as the AG stated in his legal opinion, that they must proceed to perform them or risk paying a huge judgment debt. So this is what the legal opinion instructed the Ministry of Finance to proceed to perform Exhibit V, and then went ahead to caution the ministry.
Now, Mr. Jakpa, the contract was between the government of Ghana, represented by the Ministry of Health. Is that not correct?
My lord,
the contract was between the government of Ghana.
My lord, there's an important thing I have to put here. I have to state here.
Mr. Jakpa,
You have read the whole
Mr.
thing.
Jakpa.
There's no
Yes,
line
my
there.
lord.
Please, I will not let you read the whole document.
It's not the whole document. It's one last portion there.
If I let you do that, you'd have read the whole document.
No, my lord. That part is very critical.
Please,
Mr. Jakpa,
Mr. Jakpa,
Mr. Jakpa,
Mr.
the
Jakpa,
contract will be.
please, Attorney General, please, Mr. Jakpa, as I'm sure you have seen, as you are reading your speech, I have my copy. So you just point me to where you wanted to read and I'll make a note. The same way that I asked you to collect this thing and do target for me, and then we can go on. What are you doing, Eshia? What are you doing? What are you doing? What were you doing? Don't try it.
My lord.
Don't.
My lord.
You are telling me to continue.
No. My lord.
Please,
My lord.
listen to the question.
I've heard, my lord. That particular portion is linked to the addendum that he's claiming is a report. It's very critical as stated.
You don't have to state it. The document
Now,
is in evidence.
My lord.
The
Ask your
contract
question.
was
My lord.
the
My lord.
contract was between the government of Ghana and the Ministry represented by the Ministry of Health and Big C Limited. Is that not correct? Is that not correct?
My lord.
That's very simple. The contract was between DOG, represented by Ministry of Health, and Big C. Is that not correct?
My lord. The contract was between the government of Ghana, represented by Minister of Health, and BC
So that's correct.
General Trading
That's fine.
LLC.
Now, Exhibit X.
And
Exhibit X.
Hold on. And Big C General Trading LLC.
BC General LLC.
Thank you. Now, Exhibit X was addressed to the Minister for Health. Is that not correct? Exhibit X was addressed to the Minister for Health. Is that not correct?
Exhibit
X. That is what.
indeed was addressed to the Minister of Health.
Now, in Exhibit X, you do not find anywhere at all that the Minister for Health is directed to establish health. Do you? For health. And the Minister for Health, or indeed any person at all, is directed to establish health. To establish health. Is that not correct? Or any Minister for Health.
My lord. As I was talking of reading Exhibit X that he's referring to.
Please read.
You've asked a question going back. I need to go back there to answer you.
Now, straight scrutiny. If there's a line in there, I will try you.
This banter is not helping anybody. It makes it difficult also to record accuracy.
Right.
Unfortunately, you are the one I can speak to because you are the leader of the party. So please, the question is whether in Exhibit X, he said that it is true. You do not find it anywhere that they are to establish the question, the answer, please.
Madam, can you
please repeat the question?
In Exhibit X, do not find anywhere. Do not find it anywhere at all. That's the Minister for Health or any person at all is directed